had a ton of bad presidents, but not that many presidents that have been a bad president, but actually a good person. One of these is Gerald Ford. Everybody who ever met Gerald Ford said he was a good guy on both sides of the aisles. Everybody agreed that this was a good guy. But the problem is he was not elected. That's like the biggest thing of why everyone felt like he just wasn't a very good president. So he becomes vice president for Nixon after the previous vice president stepped down because of all the different issues going on with the Nixon administration. And then he comes in as president when Nixon steps down. But the thing is, he was never elected. So there's really no way for people to have liked him. Another very unpopular thing that he did was pardoning Richard Nixon. People did not like that. Now, it's understandable now why people would not like that, right? I mean, they're finding out all this stuff about Nixon and they're like, oh man, he's such a bad guy. And there's going to be an investigation. There's going to be criminal charges. And then Ford goes, you know what? We're just going to pardon him because we just need to move on as a country. Most of Gerald Ford's administration, he was basically just trying to heal the country. That was like his thing. He was trying to heal the country. And as we look back on it, most historians agree that that was actually a good thing, that he pardoned Nixon, that this was a way for him to just kind of start moving forward. Similarly, he also pardoned a bunch of draft dodgers from the Vietnam War. Now, Jimmy Carter would continue on with this kind of healing of America, and Jimmy Carter would fully pardon all draft dodgers from the Vietnam War, which was also extremely unpopular at the time. Now, some other problems that Gerald Ford also had was the crazy economy. The economy was very bad for this entire period. And then Jimmy Carter would also have a terrible economy. And it would take until Ronald Reagan's administration in which it would recover. Now, other problems was the fall of Saigon in Vietnam. Now, the United States had already left Vietnam almost entirely. But as all the stuff starts going down in Southeast Asia, Gerald Ford is just like, we're not getting involved. We're done. Being involved when the Khmer Rouge took over Cambodia and started doing a lot of terrible stuff. Heard about Pol Pot. He did terrible things. And Gerald Ford was just like, no, we're not getting involved. We're just not doing it. Now, just like every president, like Jimmy Carter or others who were bad presidents, but good people, they also did good things in their time as president. And Gerald Ford was no different. There was times in his presidency that he actually did accomplish some decent things. But overall, there was just no shot for him. The guy wasn't elected. And his predecessor was Nixon, who nearly went to jail if it wasn't for him pardoning him. And so just all around, there just wasn't going to be an easy time as being president for Gerald Ford. Now, on top of that, we just had a string of presidents. Eisenhower served 8 years. Then we had JFK. Then we had LBJ. Then we had Nixon. Then we had Ford. Then we had Carter, none of which served full 8-year terms. It took until Ronald Reagan to actually have 2 full terms that were a total of 8 years. So that entire period of American history was extremely volatile. And I think that overall, it just wasn't